All right. Good morning, Cindy. How are you?
Good morning and well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Thanks for meeting with me this morning. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So, we talked before this call. So, you are currently pursuing your bachelor's degree at UCF right now, and we had talked about completing your data analytics boot camp. So, can you talk to me about that and what that entails?
Absolutely. So the boot camp entailed data analytics and visualization. With this boot camp, we reviewed Microsoft Excel, which, of course, many of the students, including myself, were already extremely familiar with. I also did projects on VBA scripting. Python is my absolute favorite, and SQL is a close second. But coding and data wrangling are just exciting for me, especially as someone who's going into accounting or is pursuing accounting. Those are just fun activities for me. I find them to be fun. But we also did delve into Tableau. We delve into JavaScript, CSS. Those were not my favorite, but I did complete my course with a 97.26.
Okay.
And so we did the Tableau, the front end of the software development. I prefer back end. And again, my absolute favorite is Python, anything that has to do with coding, back end programming, I prefer.
Okay. So, that's awesome. You're pursuing your career. We had said, in the education field, you're hopefully on set to graduate
Yes.
in 2024. So not too far off. I know we just started a new year, but it goes by super quick, as you know. So let's talk about your work history a little bit. So with the rehab center,
Yes.
what did you do there as a assistant manager?
So a lot of it was basically the administrative part,
Okay.
making sure that the onboarding of the patient was proper, verifying their insurance, um, making sure that their intake was done properly, making sure that we had the proper information for them, for their insurance, and for their billing materials. Also doing invoicing, a very minute amount being that it was a small chiropractor office, but still doing billing and invoicing and collections to making phone calls and writing letters, not only to our clients, but also to the insurance companies. And I believe that would pretty much sum it up. We also did make sure that our files were properly maintained according to guidelines. But that was the gist of my responsibilities there.
Okay. And I heard you mention collections.
Mhm.
Doing 30, 60, 90 day, or was there a limit?
I don't recall there being a limit. I do know that we definitely kept abreast of the payments, and it was mainly from the insurance companies. It was a rehabilitation center for as far as a chiropractor's office is concerned. So it was just a matter of making phone calls and sending letters. I would like to believe it was within 30 to 60 days. Um,
Got it.
that's what I recall.
Okay. So from there, you are a successful business owner. So talk to me about what industry that's in and what that entailed.
So I owned a business. We had three offices, one in DeLand, one in Orlando, and one in Leesburg. And we prepared tax preparation. I'm sorry, we did tax preparation and insurance sales. We also did a lot of bookkeeping for our clients who had businesses, and we prepared reports for financial statements and did their bookkeeping again for their accountants. We also had some clients who needed immigration services done, and so we would work in conjunctions with their immigration lawyers to help them prepare some of their documents at a lower cost or guide them to the resources available to them, and show them basically that if they needed a certain form filled, we would print it out for them. There are videos online showing them exactly from government websites, explaining to them what their processes would be. So that way that would minimize the costs from the attorneys.
Okay. And from there, you went into quality assurance within Bank of America. So what did you do there? It looks like you started as a quality assurance specialist and then worked your way to a senior quality assurance. So what did you do within that job description? And then what did that promotion entail?
So when this project came about, it was as a response to the pandemic. The team that I was on was basically monitoring fraud trends within the prepaid division of Bank of America. There's only so much that I can discuss, but Bank of America was contracted by the state of California to issue payments to those who did not have access to bank accounts. And so they offered prepaid cards to beneficiaries of pandemic assistance. And unfortunately, there were, as I'm sure, this is public information, there was some fraud, some level of fraud included, unfortunately, in that program, or not necessarily included, but unfortunately that came about. Right. So my team, basically what we did is we pinpointed based on the calls. What it is that we could do to better mitigate that fraud. What level of verification was necessary? What was overzealous? We also pinpointed variations in spending that qualified or that triggered more research. And also with those variations in spending, what level of verification would be needed in order to mitigate that? Are you really the person that you say you are, or are you not? And why is it that what triggers these questions? So originally it was just the phone call aspect of it, but I like to take notes, and basically after bringing to my superiors things that I had noticed, it became, I just offered to do more. And my supervisor at the time did not have an assistant. There was no senior QA on her team, but other teams had senior QAs. And so after just meeting with Bank of America leaders and other supervisors, and being placed on different phone calls because of different things that I had come about that I felt like probably would be good at involving in the process. I was offered the senior QA position and I took it.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's a good way to go about that. Absolutely. Okay. And then lastly, you're pretty well versed in all the softwares that you've used. So Microsoft Office, I see with Excel, you've done pivot tables and VLOOKUPs.
Yes.
It's always nice because not a lot of people know how to do that. Drake Accounting Software, Python. And then again, one thing I should have mentioned before the call is that you're technically trilingual, so English, Creole, and French. That's so right. Very nice there. And moving into your next position, what's one thing that's important to you?
I would really love to continue using my skills in tech. I do understand that programming is not necessarily something that the accounting world beats day-to-day accounting world entails. However, if in any way I can continue to make reports and continue to just wrangle with data, that's really exciting for me. I really find that that's my happy place. And of course, I absolutely love accounting, but just really data. In any way that I can be of service, in any way that I can learn more skills to make me just a better employee, a better student, and a better person to deliver services.
Awesome. I love it.